Hey, and welcome to the Rada Explained series. In this video, we'll take a look at one of the more practical parts of Rada Destreza, his footwork. He has some steps that are unique to him. He does not describe in complete detail how to do the footwork. So some of the details I will explain will be my interpretations of it. I will make sure to keep my interpretations and what Rada says separate, informing you anytime I get off the well-described road. Before I get into the footwork, I will first bring up an important theoretical concept, the Three Meadows. Medio de proporción, medio proporcional, and medio proporcionado. Medio de proporción is the position at which destreza starts. It is defined as when the tip of the opponent's blade reaches your wrist. This is the starting position on the circle, usually. Against a non-destreza fencer, medio de proporción will mostly happen during their attacks, as they often stay outside of this distance and possibly have retracted arm. Medio proporcionado is the position when you can safely wound the opponent simply by extending the arm. It is the end goal of the fencing. It is the checkmate. Medio proporcional is Rada's invention and is the step in between those two positions. Most commonly, it is at the atajo position, C and D on the main circle. With a single step from proporcional, you can reach proporcionado. We'll now take a look at the two main types of steps of Rada, his attacking steps and his curved steps. First up is the curved step. This is the main type of step on the circle. It can be done all from directly sideways to almost diagonally forward. The standard curved step is the step from A to C or D. When doing the step, you start the step with the foot towards the direction you want to move and push a bit with the other foot. Rada mentions some details of it, but here is how I do it. When moving to the left, you start with the left foot. Moving to the right, you start with the right foot. You land the foot on the heel and then roll down the rest of the foot while simultaneously moving the other foot forward, ending you in the same position as you started. By placing the heel first and rolling down the foot, you can conserve momentum and switch direction fairly easily. If you want to take another step in the same direction, you roll the feet down and push with the toes to lift the foot off the ground to make the next step. If you want to switch direction, you roll it back, lifting the heel last. If you want to stop, you just let the foot rest down on the ground. Doing movement in this manner is quite smooth and will allow you to continue in the same direction you're moving, change direction, or change tempo of how you're moving. It's quite versatile. Rada's attacking step is his own. I have not seen any other author in any other system do this type of step. It is more or less a replacement for lunges, but they are curved instead. Both when done left and right, the right foot will lead if you are right-handed, left if you are left-handed. The attacking step is done in more or less 3 parts. First step is the leading diagonal step, which gives most of the forward movement. It is then followed by putting the feet together for maximum reach, and then is lastly finished with a retreat. After putting the feet together, you can choose which direction you retreat in, or you could also make another attack as a response to what the opponent does. The standard way is to continue retreat in same direction the attack moved in. In other words, if you move left with the attack, the retreat moves left too. How I teach the movement is that you always land with the heel first, just like with all other forward steps. It is also important to note that when you land the front foot, you need to angle it. This is to help with the retreat. Another reason for angling the foot in the attacking step is to orient your body. This will help with aim. Depending on which side you attack on, it will also help with strength or reach. You angle the foot towards the direction you want to retreat to. During the whole movement, the back needs to be straight without any leaning, especially when practiced as movement of its own. An important note: all the movement I teach has the goal of wasting as little effort as possible. This means you should not move up and down with your body. Try to maintain the shoulders level. You want to move like you flow along the ground. This is true for the curved step, for attacking step, and most other steps. You do not want to waste unnecessary effort or movement. The attacking step is the most common way Rada's attacks are delivered. The curved step is the most common way to move on the circle. Outside of the circle, though, you can move with the straight step. Straight steps are done by moving with the front foot first, then move when moving forward, and back foot first when moving backwards. The straight steps are mostly used when you are well outside of the circle, in the scenarios when you wouldn't maintain a right angle either. These are not all steps of Rada, just some of the main steps. I plan to make a video about some of the exercises for footwork. Possibly Rada's own exercises, possibly our own. Yes, now it looks... No, that's the...